I'm back. Okay, so I've got about a half a cup of rice here, and my celery, onion, and garlic mixture with the chicken broth is sauteing beautifully, so I'm going to add my rice in here. And I'm just going to mix it on in. I forgot where my pot holder went. Ah! So anyway, a little history lesson. So some of you may have been very successful in life and never fallen on hard times, but a lot of you probably have. So anyway, we did. So we used to have a different style of living in a big house with a big, huge kitchen. And now I think some of you have heard me say, you know, I refer to this lovely little mobile home with $1 million view of the beautiful water, which the sun is still setting, as Home Crap Home. Because yes, I do cook now in a little mobile home. But you know what's funny is if you have a great stove, which this one is really fantastic, and you have the will and the power and to do it, you're going to make some awesome meals. It doesn't matter where you're cooking. So I have learned that. I cook some fantastic meals in my big house in Colorado with my big country kitchen and the big center island, and then I've cooked some fantastic meals right here on this stove, in this oven, and you guys have been a part of it, which has been more fun. So this is Herbs de Provence. I'm going to sprinkle some in here with my rice and my celery, and then in a minute I'm going to do some cayenne pepper, and then I'm going to cut up my chicken and put it back in, and then the next thing is just start adding my broth and my other flavor. Here's some cayenne pepper. Now, okay, don't go too crazy, folks. Just a little bit. Is it coming out? Is it coming out? Maybe it needs a little help. Oh, you know what my trick is? Yeah, if you're worried about over-seasoning your food, this is what I always do. I put it in my hand, and then I just sprinkle, 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 because nothing's worse than over-seasoning your food. People don't want to eat it then. That might be enough cayenne pepper. I don't want to over cayenne pepper my... Oh, my rice is starting to stick, folks. It's time for more broth. And then I need to cut up my chicken and put it back in here. And then I need to add my chicken, better than bouillon chicken flavor, so it's ready to go in the oven. Here we go. Oh, sizzle, sizzle. I love that sound. Now, this is this cast iron skillet of which I do not have a lid for. Where is my pot holder? I keep putting it down. I keep forgetting. So, I think I might, if I want to make sure my rice cooks properly, I'm probably going to have to cover it with tin foil, or maybe just get a lid from another pot or something to make sure. But right now, I just got enough liquid in there for the moment. I definitely want my rice to come out fluffy, so maybe add a little bit more liquid. I'm terrible at rice. I think you guys might have seen the episode where the hubs made the perfect rice, because you know what? My rice does not come out perfect, and I'm praying that this rice and chicken mixture comes out good enough that he will enjoy it, because I just am terrible at making rice. I don't know what it is with me. But anyway, here's my chicken. It's lovely. So what I'm going to do, I keep moving this tin foil out of the way. I'm going to just throw that over there. And then I'm going to just plop my chicken over here on the cutting board. And I'm going to chop it up into little pieces, bite-sized pieces. This one's for Brenda Lee. Brenda Lee! Brenda Lee, you got your own chicken over here. It's waiting for you, girl. Oh, she's here. She shows up right away. Mommy licked her fingers. Oh, wow, that chicken's very flavorful. You want your chickie? You want your chickie? She wants her chicken. Okay, I'm going to wash my hands, and then I'm going to cut up my chicken real quick. Can you see that? There we go. It sounds like it's time for another swig of wine. And I think Daddy's going to come in and cut up Brenda Lee's chicken and put it in a bowl for her. Right, Daddy?
Yep.
He said yep.
Yes, I am.
So right now, I'm just going to cut my chicken. Ooh, I got to be careful I don't knock my wine over. But anyway, I want to show you guys what I'm doing. I'm just dicing it up kind of small, like this size, and then I'm going to put it all back into my cast iron skillet, which is eventually going to go in the oven. But first we got to add some more flavors, folks. We got to add that Better Than Bouillon. I'm just kind of keeping an eye on it right now to see what it does with the whole rice thing. I'm sure I need to cover it. In fact, I'm pretty positive I need to cover it, but I'm only one person. I can only do so much. And when I start to feel like that, I realize what's wrong. I need more wine. Cheers, salud. I hope you're drinking and cooking along with me. So anyway, cook in whatever kitchen you have. Some friends of ours are building a big, beautiful house. They live on like 5 acres or something. And right now, they're living in a garage. They got a camping stove and a barbecue. And they made the most incredible fajitas I have ever had on the barbecue and the camp stove. So, what I'm saying is if you love to cook, don't let your kitchen stop you. You don't have to have a big, beautiful, professional kitchen. Sometimes I don't like watching the Food Network because it depresses me. Because I do, sometimes I miss my big, beautiful kitchen. There was a lot more counter space, and it was easier to clean up and stuff like that. I had a dishwasher. Yeah, I don't have a dishwasher. But, you know, I have made do because this friend of mine that's building her beautiful house on 5 acres, and one day it will be ready, hopefully soon. Because then we can go cook in her kitchen. Anyway, she doesn't even have hot water. They have to boil their water and wash dishes in a basin like they're camping. Now, okay, I don't know if you guys have been paying attention, but while I've been jabbering away here, my mixture is bubbling pretty heavily. So I got my pot holder. I want to stir it up. Oh, my rice is looking really good right now. So I think I'm going to try to find a large lid for this, and I'm going to turn it down and just kind of let my rice cook a little bit. So let's see what oh, you know what? Forget it. I'm just going to use this. Why waste it, right, folks? There you go. Yeah, Joelle is very creative. I improvised. All you need to do is cover it so your rice steams. There we go. Okay, it's covered. Don't need to dirty another lid because, as I mentioned before, I don't have a dishwasher. You're looking at the dishwasher, and nothing is worse than washing a bunch of dishes after a meal like this. When you have to clean your cast iron skillet, you can't use soap because you'll ruin it. So you gotta wash it in just hot water, and then you gotta re-season it again. Re-seasoning means putting oil on it and cooking it at a very high temperature in the oven. I don't know much about that, folks. The Hubs takes care of all of that. He took this cast iron skillet and he made it a beautiful thing because it used to be all rough inside, and he sanded it down at work. He brought it home to me. It didn't even look like the same pan. I'm like, what the hell did you do to my cast iron skillet? And he said, I made it better. So anyway, it is better. It's smooth on the bottom now, and it's so much easier to cook in, and it's much easier to clean it up and to season it. The seasoning is the important thing because you want that layer of oil on it. I'm having trouble cutting up my chicken here. So anyway, the Hubs took care of all that. I was very pleased. I was a little skeptical, I have to admit. I was like, I think you've ruined my $20 pan because that's all I paid for this. It wasn't very expensive, and it's not real big. They have bigger sizes, but it's the perfect size for the Hubs and me. But I got it at this place called Don's Pharmacy here in town. It's a local drugstore, and I mean, it's like literally like from the 1950s because they have a soda fountain in the back where you can get burgers and malts and sit at the red, the counter, the seats have red, you know what I'm talking about, candy stripe, whatever. It's great, but you can get all kinds of things at Don's, and so I found these cast iron skillets there, and I'm like, oh, yay. I'm going to use those because I love cast iron. So, okay, I've been jabbering enough. I got my chicken all cut up. I think I'm going to throw it back in here, and I'm going to see if I need any more seasoning. I've used a little bit of Herbes de Provence and a little bit of red cayenne pepper, and hopefully that's enough. It's already had salt and pepper. Oh, and don't forget the star ingredient, folks, because we've been adding all this chicken broth. We're going to want Better Than Bouillon. So here's what I'm going to do before I let you go. for a... Oh, there's hardly anything left in here. I better have another one. That would be tragic. Ow. Ooh, that is very hot steam. You got to be careful. I just nearly singed my thumb. Okay, I got to get this off without burning myself. I got to get it off. Ah! Okay, it's off. Now, I'm gonna grab my hand. Oh, this looks really yummy. Oh, my rice is starting to cook beautifully. Okay, so what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna throw my chicken in, or maybe I should add some of this first. Here's my spoon. I'm gonna add this. This is the organic version. It's the chicken one. Oh, tons of flavor, folks. Packed with flavor. Put it in there. I don't have much paste left. Good news is, I bought another one. Just in case. But this might be enough, you know? Oh, God, I just want to stick that in my mouth. So good. Okay, there we go. Now, I'm going to need more water. Not water. We're using chicken broth here. Okay, chicken broth, chicken broth, chicken broth. This was not a whole box of chicken broth, folks. I wanted to mention that. This was like probably half a box. And if you don't have, you can always use water. I just really like the flavor of the chicken broth. So, okay, so now I've got a really nice amount of liquid in here. It's just barely covering my celery and my rice. And now it is time to add my chopped up chicken. Chopped up chicken. I'm not going to channel Julia Child tonight. I did that on another episode. I think I'd had a lot to drink. It just came out of me. Julia was there. I felt her presence in me. And I started talking like, Julia Child! But that's not happening tonight. And I'm totally messing with you. For those of you who do believe in channeling and all that, hey, that's great. But I really don't. I was just kidding. I mean, maybe it's possible. What's possible right now is I could use some more liquid in here, for sure. But yeah, if you want to channel somebody, I say go for it. So, I'm going to add a little bit of water because, as you can see, can you see? I think it needs some. Let's take the phone. Yeah. I think it needs a little bit because it's going to cook down. So, I'm going to grab some water from the good water. I always say the good water because we don't drink out of the tap here. So I'm going to do about a half a cup of water, a little less. We don't drink out of the tap. You can, but we have soft water, so it would taste like salt. We add salt to our water, so it's soft. So I buy water from the co-op. Huh, what a surprise. And that's what I use with most of my cooking is the good water, unless I'm going to boil it and boil it and boil it. Okay, so I still need my chopping center here because I still need to chop my tomatoes and my green onion, but it's time to pause. We're going to get Brenda Lee her dinner because she's been waiting patiently for this delicious chicken. And I'm going to chop up my green onions, and I'm going to chop them kind of big, you know, not real small, not too diced. Ooh, they're kind of gritty, so I need to rinse them. But, you know, just I'll show you before I throw them in. And then I'm going to chop some of these wonderful looking tomatoes as well. So if you're a tomato lover, oh yeah. Now if you're not, you don't have to put tomatoes in this recipe. I happen to be an avid tomato. Is there a word for a tomato connoisseur? I don't know. If there is, I'm a tomato connoisseur. I'm talking with my mouth full because I just shoved one in my mouth. Anyway, I love tomatoes. If you don't, what could you put in here, folks, as an alternative? Maybe some red bell pepper. Maybe you could just omit the tomato. I think it's going to add a beautiful color to my meal, though. So when you see the finished product, you can let me know what you think. Anywho, I'm going to cover this again with my tin foil for a little bit because, you know, my rice is in there cooking away. And I want the rice to cook down. And I'm going to cook this probably just for another 5 minutes. I'm going to get my green onions chopped and my tomatoes chopped, and then it's going in, and it's all going in the oven. So we'll be back.